you party with me now? Last train to Awesome Town. Come on, won't you party with me? Last train to Awesome Town. The roof is on fire, gonna burn it to the ground. Yeah. Last train to Awesome Town. Come on, won't you party with me? This party is sick. Dude, bro, this party is sick. Dude, bro, this party is sick. Dude, bro, this party is sick. Dude, this party has like 5 different kinds of nachos. Whoa, that's off the hook crazy. 5 different nachos. 5 different nachos. 5 different nachos. 5 different nachos. Last train to Awesome Town. Come on, everybody, won't you party with me now? Last train to Awesome Town. Come on, won't you party with me? Do. Last train to Awesome Town. The roof is on fire, gonna burn it to the ground. Yeah. Last train to Awesome Town. Come on, won't you party with me? Party with me. Party with me. Party with me. Party with me. 5 different nachos.
All right, you are listening to the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio. Hello there, I'm Caleb.
And I'm Rachel.
And Jake will be here. He's going to be late, but he'll be here later on in the show.
He'll be with us shortly.
So what we're going to listen to, what we're going to talk about today, you're going to listen to us, but what we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about Destiny up first, and that's Rachel's little thing of expertise, because I don't really know anything about Destiny other than what the classes are.
It's a great game.
Second, we'll have your Nintendo news and a little bit of sad news mixed in there as well. Thirdly, we'll have your nerd vocab and a whole bunch of superhero-related stuff. Fourthly, we will have your video game news. And lastly, we'll have your technology and whatnot. All right, here on the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio. So, Rachel, there's been something with Destiny that... Right, something happened.
Yes, well, something kind of is happening / happened. Recently, the newest expansion came out called The Dark Below, and so they have another one planned called The House of Wolves. Now, a Destiny player on Reddit has been playing the game in Japanese, and he's been able to find some early details about the next expansion.
Those Japanese always get early details.
Well, it's not really like that. It's more like stuff in the code. Because he's playing it in a different language and a certain way, he's been able to access the code because he's...
Did he data mine? Is that what?
Kinda.
That could be next week's Nerd Vocab.
Yeah.
I'll put that in there. Remind me.
So with doing that, he discovered all manner of new gear, weapons, a new level cap for the light, which is how you expand your level beyond 20. And I think he said the level cap was going to be...
Level 32?
No, 32 is what it is currently.
Oh.
I think I wanted to say 35 is what they're putting it to. That's what I want to say. The level 32 you're thinking about is the new Nightfall strike that they may be adding. But with all of this, Bungie has said and warned Destiny players that they shouldn't get too carried away on those leaked details because they are subject to change. Pretty much what they call these things that are you can already find in there are what's called placeholders. They may be what's coming, they may not be.
Right, because, Destiny is a game still kind of in development-ish with its expansions and stuff. So it will have placeholders just like in Mario Kart. They have little placeholders for the characters and stuff that are going to be added later on.
Right, exactly. The speculation on House of Wolves says that it might be released on May 19th, which is actually farther off than we thought, because most people were kind of projecting end of March, which is actually a really quick turnaround for a second expansion, because the first one came out shortly before Christmas, if I remember correctly. So that's really quick turnaround for that. So we'll see whether or not any of these details come through. I, for one, am excited about the new armor and the new missions, and there's something going on with some of the in-game vendors that are going to change too. Apparently, a lot's going to change. I, for one, think that they should add more planets. They make mention a lot in the game currently, as it stands today, the planet Mercury, and how the Vex, I believe, one of the enemies in there, actually turned the entire planet Mercury into a machine. So there's been some speculation that a new map on the Crucible is going to be on Mercury. So maybe, fingers crossed, we get that planet actually added to the story.
That sounds like something off of Invader Zim.
Does it?
Where they turn the planets into spaceships or something like that. It was weird.
Well, kind of. The Vex are like a machine-based race, and it's crazy. And
I'm just kidding.
Some other speculation has to do with the race, the Awoken, which is what you can actually make your character as. Now, when this one thing with the Queen, which is another character that you encounter in the storyline, there was an event with just her and certain missions that would give you Queen's rank, and it was only for a short time. I don't know if they're going to bring it back up again. They probably will, but you could earn certain special items from it as well. Some people are saying it's going to involve her. I, for one, my prediction, think it's going to be her brother, because her brother was very malicious to your character when you brought the Gate Lord's eye, which is a lot of story stuff. I don't know. You have to complete a lot of these missions and acquire these items in order to progress to the next place. Like any typical game. In order to get to point B,
right,
you got to do this thing first.
Fetch quest and everything.
But
like
he
that.
was very, very malicious and very, dare I say, wolf-like.
Wolf-like, I see.
And yeah. So
makes sense.
We'll see. That's my prediction. But we'll see.
We'll see. We will see in time, indeed. And now we're going to take a break. Break. And we're going to talk about Nintendo and some sad news. Up next, the song is from Out of Nowhere by Shinedown, and you are listening to the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio. We will be right back.
And we're back on the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio. My name is Rachel, and I have sitting next to me my friend Jake.
Yes, that would be me. I'm here.
Yes, you are.
We have Caleb.
Hi, what's up?
Our ghost host.
The ghost host?
The ghost host.
The ghost host. All right. So, Jake, you're back from...
I don't know what you're talking about. I was here the whole time.
Yeah. So, Jake, you had an experience with Hot Wings over the weekend. How was that?
Unpleasant.
I heard that your mouth hurt really bad.
Yeah, you can go watch the video on our channel. It should be the one previous to this.
If you're not squeamish or anything,
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it.
It was quite uncomfortable.
I laughed. I'm not going to lie. I laughed at you guys' pain. But
that was the point.
Because Rachel and Kyle weren't there.
No.
Jake even mentioned, too bad Rachel and Kyle couldn't be here to watch our pain and suffering.
To watch our victory, because we won.
Oh, yeah, our victory.
You beat 'em.
Hey, Jake made a whole victory speech. Jake was probably the highlight of the video. I was just sitting there. It hurts. It hurts.
Thank you for the bread and the water, by the way.
All right. Well, in this segment, we are going to have some Nintendo news, specifically Majora's Mask, and we have some sad news. But we'll get to that a little bit later. So...
All right, so Majora's Mask, as everybody knows, is a very popular Zelda title. It took a more dark turn. So did Twilight Princess, but everybody hates Twilight Princess for whatever reason. But I like Twilight Princess.
I like Twilight Princess.
Anyways, enough of that mini rant. I'm just saying, enough of the mini rant. Majora's Mask was really fun, and with the new 3DS version, they made a couple of changes. Like, for one thing, whenever... there's a little plant.
This was the most annoying thing ever in the original.
In the middle of town, like right in the middle of town, and whenever you walk by it, a scrub, which is a character in the game, would like fly down, and he'd be like, "Hey, I got this plot of land, and nobody can have it, but maybe I'll sell it or whatever." Anyways, and that would happen every time you reset the day. Now, the mechanic in Majora's Mask is that you have a 3-day time limit to basically solve all the world's problem, kind of like a Groundhog Day thing, but everything would reset when you went back in time. Time travel is a big deal in this. And whenever you did, you would walk by this plant every day and he'd come down and he'd give his little speech, and you could not skip this cutscene.
Oh, like Rossetti.
Completely
It was annoying.
unskippable. You get too close, all of a sudden, oh look, I'm just gonna fly down and take another couple of minutes out of your life.
But now, with the new version, they're going to shorten that after the first set of days that you run into him. So it'll be just like you walk by, and he'll do it again, but it kind of skips like the whole middle part, and then it's like,
What
okay.
they say is the first time it's going to play, it's going to do the original thing. The second time, it's going to do an alternate cutscene, which is a lot shorter. So it's probably just going to have him floating down instead of him floating down and talking.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
He just kind of like pop and teleports down. It's pretty interesting. Another thing that also changed in Majora's Mask is something I noticed, I watched over the weekend. They changed the swimming mechanic a bit with the Zora, which it's not, you can't just hold A and swim. You have to use his little magic to do that continuously.
Oh, so they're making it harder.
Yes, they're making it a little harder to swim.
As if that game wasn't hard enough already.
But you can like press A, kind of like you're rolling in the water, like you're dashing in the water.
Right.
You can do that,
like
but it's like in a
Spyro.
short burst.
Where
Right.
you
Well,
do the dash in the water to swim.
Yeah, but you have to hold the magic button to do little. So it's kind of changed in that bit, but they've changed it. Like in the beaver race, they've put like little magic pots
Right.
that you can hit, and you can
Right.
just keep going. So
Well,
pretty nice.
What was the other thing that they thought they were going to change? I think, were they supposed to be removing certain loading parts during the dungeons? I heard that they're removing, they're connecting like the dungeon as opposed to having to go through as many doors and, increase loading time.
That could be a possibility.
I've seen some screenshots of it, but I don't know if it's exactly true yet. I mean, we'll find out in the next couple of days.
Yeah, with the 3DS being a lot more powerful than the 64 version was, I mean, I'm sure they could do that.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. Something so small, better, Anyways, all right. So now that's it for Majora's Mask. They've changed a bit, and if you want to, you can look online for the rest of that.
And when does that come out again, Caleb?
On the Friday the 13th. Perfect day for releasing Majora's Mask.
Hard game, creepy game on a
Creepy.
very unlucky, quote unquote unlucky, by the way, day.
Yeah. That's fun.
And now for the sad news.
Sad news.
For anyone who watches Rooster Teeth, their lead animator, Monty, has passed away at the age of 33. They announced it yesterday, the day before. He was 33 years old, as I said, and he was hospitalized over the weekend for a severe allergic reaction during a simple medical procedure that put him in a coma. He's most known by anime fans for working on RWBY, Red,
Ruby.
White...
It's Ruby. We just say Ruby.
Ruby. Most people call it that. And he also worked on the Afro Samurai game. He developed the combat engine for that. So it's very, very sad, and Rooster Teeth was very thankful to all the fans who helped out when they can. And I think they, when they announced it yesterday, they actually didn't do any filming at all or video releases that day.
No.
So was this like medical mispractice? Did they just not check to see if he was allergic?
Nobody
to anything?
knows.
Okay.
Like we don't have that information.
There's not that
yet.
much detail. We just know that he's died.
And frankly, I'm not going to look into it because it's the family's business and not ours. So that's their thing. If they want to look into it, that can be their choice. But their son, husband, brother, whatever, has passed away. So that's the most jarring thing here. I mean, if it gives them closure to find out the whole deal, then sure. But
it is kind of sad. I watch Ruby like whenever it comes out. It's pretty good. It's good combat, because Rooster Teeth, and they're good about the whole combat thing with like red versus blue and whatnot. It is a little. I'm kind of bummed about it.
Well, season 3 was in the works and being developed.
Yeah,
So-
they might have.
He wasn't the only animator, was he? Did they have a...
No, but
he
he
was
was
the
the lead. So in the spirit of, keeping things going, because that was probably what he wanted to do, they might continue to make it. However, they might not.
Yeah, it depends. Like if he finished the end, I'm sure he does. Like you have to write something with the end in mind, anyways. So he probably does have the end, but it's just depending on where this series will go now,
Right.
it's just up to
They might-
who's
Right.
left.
Well,
to
they
animate.
might. My guess would be is they might finish up what's there and end it, if he planned it ending, end it that way, and then not develop it anymore because they want to leave it as maybe his legacy or whatever.
Because this was quite sudden, just
It
out
was
of nowhere.
really out of the blue. I mean, unless he has a stipulation in his will or contract somewhere that if he dies, the anime cannot be produced anymore. I'm looking at you, creator of Trinity Blood. That's who I'm looking at because that's what happened with him. Literally in this gentleman's will, he
I don't know if
wrote-
he was at a point in his time where he would have even written a will.
You'd
like-
be surprised how soon people write wills. A friend of mine is just turned 22 and he already has a will.
Oh, okay.
Yep. It's actually apparently smarter to do that as soon as you can and then just change it as needed.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I haven't written a will yet. I don't really have a lot of stuff to give out. The only thing I have would be everything in my room. But, yeah.
What do you want us to do with the show?
Uh,
I don't know. Let's not go there.
continue,
No, we're not going to go there.
continue the show if you want.
Okay. That didn't sound
Stop
good.
touching the mic.
That did not sound good
Bad
at
Jake.
all. All
Don't
right.
make me feed you one of my nuclear wings.
I don't want
Do
to
it.
eat
I
hot
know.
wings for a long time.
I'm
All
just going
right.
to keep picking on you.
Well,
I'm sorry, Jake.
That's it for that news. Sorry to end it on such a sad note.
But next up, we have Nerd Vocab. That's happy. Yay.
Yay.
And superheroes. Yay.
Okay.
Yay.
So that'll bring the mood back up, I believe so.
And in memory of Ohm, we have the Ruby theme song of the second season.
Good.
So-
This is out to you, Monty.
Yes, this is
Wherever
out to
you
Monty. Out there. All right, and we'll be right back here on the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio.
All right, welcome back. We are the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio. I am Jake.
I am Rachel.
It's Rachel, and that.
I'm Caleb. What's up, every peoples? What's up?
Heyo.
Hi.
It's time for our mid segment of the show, as per usual. The Nerd Vocab.
Very important
Oh,
segment.
snap. What
Are
is
you
it?
ready?
What is
You
it?
ready for this?
What is it? I'm ready.
I'm ready.
The Nerd Vocab for this week is ARC.
Arc?
ARC.
Arc.
Not to be confused with the Noah's Ark.
Or the
Different-
ARC reactor.
Right. Different spelling? Yes.
Or arch. It's not arch.
No, it's without the
Very
H.
specific. You have to get this right. We can be very precise with how we do this. It's a very delicate operation. An arc is a story that is an extended or continuing storyline in an episodic storytelling media such as television, comic books, comic strips, board games, video games, tabletop games, films, and each episode follows a narrative arc. On a television program, for example, the story would unfold over many an episode.
So there you go. What an
So
arc is.
characters have certain arcs. Like a good example from a television
Zuko.
show. Yes, Zuko has an arc in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Criminal Minds actually is a really, really good example because each character, like Gideon, Reed, Hodge, all that kind of stuff, each individual character has an arc, and so usually it'll either be one episode or 2 episodes, 3, and they don't necessarily have to be in order. So
It's like the progression of a character from one state at the beginning of a story to another state at the end of the story where there's sort of a resolution and they've either learned something or
it's a little story
deteriorated.
within a story. A story within a story.
And then all of
Story
these
within a
stories
story.
make up one large overarching
Kind of like
storyline.
Kingdom Hearts has
Kingdom Hearts.
stories within stories within stories within a story that's also another story to another story with another story in it.
Christopher Lee is handsome.
Yes.
So good.
By the way, I posted a thing on Facebook for you guys to watch if you're
Okay.
something about
What?
Kingdom Hearts and time travel and stuff like that.
Oh,
Yay.
awesome. I'm
okay.
going to have to look
It
into that.
It explains stuff.
Okay, so another example of like an arc is comic books. And when comic books come to TV, they can have story arcs. So that is kind of preluding into our next little news here. Casting has reportedly begun for TNT and Warner Brothers Titans pilot, which is a live-action TV pilot based on the DC comic series The Teen Titans. The Titans roster at its current state will feature a mix of new and established Teen Titan characters, including Dick Grayson as both Robin and Nightwing, Barbara Gordon, Hawk, and Dove, Raven, Starfire, according to the Nerdist. However, there is no sign of Cyborg and Beast Boy yet.
Which is kind of sad.
Well, this means that they're not necessarily using the original Teen Titans. They're kind of doing an adapted thing. This might be
more in line with the early comics.
Yeah. It's not going to be the newest installment either with the New 52 because Dick Grayson would be Red Robin and not regular Robin, and none of those people are even in it except
Red Robin.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's awful.
So, per the Nerdist report, Dick Grayson will initially suit up as Robin as he patrols Boston, not Bloodhaven, which is where he originally patrolled.
Not Shukazoom City.
Yep. While he is estranged from his mentor, Batman. So it's expected that he'll eventually turn into Nightwing, which is always very, very cool to see.
Yeah, Nightwing's a cool dude.
As part of his character arc.
Oh,
Yes,
full circle.
Exactly.
Character.
Well, I, for one, though, I really like Red Robin in the New 52 version of it just because he's a sass master and he has like these wings instead of his cape. They attach to his arms and it's really cool. He literally looks like a robin. It's awesome and it's so cheesy but so great at the same time. And they have different characters entirely, like Solstice and stuff like that. So, and Skitter's really really creepy. And I'm glad that spidery-looking wood thing is not in this, supposedly. Maybe she will be, but we'll see.
Maybe.
The other superhero news has to do with Superman.
Superman on DC. Usually we all have Marvel news. It's like all we have. But today it's all DC news. So
Yes, it is.
Superman is going to get a new superpower as if he wasn't already overpowered enough.
Called the Super Flare.
The Super Flare because he's the solar battery.
He's already bulletproof. He's got laser eyes, and now
X-ray vision, frost
super strong,
breath,
invincible.
strong, faster than fast.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
doesn't age very fast, if at all.
It's all that yellow sun. Trying to get kids to go outside and have
vitamin
fun.
D, you know.
So-
Vitamin D.
Getting this power will take place in the final of the Man of Tomorrow arc.
Against the villain who I completely forgot the name of, but anyways, basically Superman is going to get this power and he's just going to just
self-destruct.
destroy.
Blow
Pretty much
everybody?
self-destruct. That was the example. I was like, I got to mention this
So
example. He's going to self-destruct pretty much.
Okay.
But he's not going to die.
Well, of course, he's Superman. He's got to reform himself or something. I don't know.
I'm sure there's a kryptonite
What's that
can make
Pokemon that
him
self-destructs? Like a Voltorb?
Electrode, Voltorb,
Voltorb?
Voltorb.
Voltorb,
That was so scary in the anime.
Electrode. Just
Yes,
blows up.
he's going to pull an electrode. That's exactly what we're comparing it to, guys. We're comparing Pokemon to Superman.
Superheroes.
Wow.
Indeed.
Yes.
Wow.
So that's it for that. That was all.
Next up,
Oh.
we have our video game news involving both releases and just companies doing stuff.
Man.
Blasting through this. I appreciate the organization of the script this time, Caleb. It's very nice. Much improvement.
Rachel did it as well. Me and Rachel
you.
worked on the
Welcome.
script.
Yes.
All right, so Jake suggested a song is the
Yay.
Morrowind title.
This
I timed it perfectly.
Is called The Call of Magic. It is the main theme of Morrowind, The Elder Scrolls 3.
Is this an instrumental piece?
Yes.
Good.
Good. Some mood music, and we'll be right back here on the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation 1480. All right, welcome back to the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio. I'm Caleb.
I'm Rachel.
I'm Jake. Hi.
Yes, and now we'll talk about video game news because we know stuff about video games.
Yes, we
'cause
do.
We're a bunch of video game nerds, except for Jake.
Who's-
Jake's
well-
just a nerd. Jake's more into anime, but
I'm into various things. I'm more
Various things.
spread out, like butter scraped over bread.
I'm sometimes
or
like
hot
that.
wing sauce on a hot wing.
Okay.
I'm going to keep referencing.
Yeah, sure. Keep doing that. That's okay.
If you want to see Caleb
sick.
and Jake burn their poor tongues off, go watch the video up there on the Hot Wing Challenge for Caleb's 40
Caleb's like miming you.
to
What is he doing?
No.
on Strangely Entertaining. That's the name of our YouTube channel.
Yes.
Yes.
You just
yes.
look up.
It changed.
It's the 40 subscriber hot wing boss fight special.
I was on an empty
challenge.
stomach at the time.
That was probably not smart.
Yeah, I didn't think about that till after we
Sick
started.
for like 3 days afterwards.
But anyway, let's get on with the video game news. Sega announced
Sega.
that is apparently downsizing its company. They are going to make this game called Sonic Runners, which to me,
Yay, more Sonic.
which to me is a little redundant because we already know that Sonic goes really fast already. We already know that.
That's not the whole entire news. They're making
No,
Sonic
it's not.
Runners.
They're making Sonic Runners. It's a new Sonic. It's the new Sonic game for mobile devices. So apparently, well, you know, you got to give it to Sega for you got to give it to Sega for finally figuring out that Sonic on console's not doing so hot anymore.
It never was.
Not even.
It stopped a long time
I
ago.
think after the GameCube is when it stopped.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Why do we keep doing this?
But it's going to come out in 2015 in
I
Japan.
don't like
But
this.
they did figure out that it's better to
I'm
put
not
it on.
happy.
I know you're not.
I'm not happy.
They're going to put it on mobile devices, which won't affect you because you don't necessarily have to buy it. And it's going to be supported by like in-game items. So it's going to be free to play, but purchase extra stuff
Sonic
if you
game
want.
with microtransactions on a mobile device. Why
It already
Sonic?
exists in the form of a Sonic version of Temple Run. It's not new.
Why?
But in any case, they did have to downsize after like everything that's been going on. Like Sonic Boom did terrible,
That was made by a different studio, though. Sonic Boom did terrible.
but it still went to Sega.
Yeah, no.
Doesn't Sega make like House
All
of
right,
the Dead and
hold
stuff?
on.
Can't
Yes.
they make games like that?
I have a theory with Sonic Boom. I think I've said it on the show before, but I think that to make the game in time with the television show Big Red Button, the studio that made the game, with Sega, tried to get it out on the day
Okay, to
in
quote
line.
Game Grumps, it's like they put 10 people in a room that wanted to make, I want to make a first-person shooter Sonic. I want to make an adventure game Sonic. I want to make just a racing Sonic. I want to make a rail shooter
You know, the
Sonic.
thing is, this
And
isn't
then-
the first Sonic game that has tried to do that, like
No,
mix multiple genres.
No, but this is worse. This is worse because they literally included every one of
Yeah.
those genres
Yeah.
in a bad way, and it was like, and you work on the textures, you work on this. Oh wait, no, the game is already out before it's even really
Yeah.
finished. That's pretty much how it happened.
They didn't even finish it.
Now,
They're-
arguably, the TV series for Sonic Boom is a lot
better.
more entertaining.
Actually, I've watched it. It's
It's
actually
not
pretty
half bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not
Sega,
bad.
I think you need to come to the realization that you just need to keep Sonic on television for a while. Just leave it there. Leave it there. Create TV cartoon shows for children.
I remember back in my day when Sonic was so good and fun, and
I do too. But
I like
those
Sonic.
days have
Son-
passed.
I know.
Chili
So
dogs.
sad.
Those days have passed. And in any case,
The last good Sonic game was Sonic Generations.
the reason for this decision is,
So sad.
with the lack of success on Sonic Boom's part and their previous installment, whatever that was called, which I did play, and was
Shattered
also-
Crystal? No.
Yes.
Or
Color.
Colors. No, Colors was good. It's the other one on Wii U and 3DS that the name, it was apparently so bad that I don't even remember the name.
the Sonic 4?
No,
No?
that's on PlayStation 3 and Xbox.
All right, okay.
You are
I don't know
you're
what you're
sadly
talking about then.
mistaken. But
I
in
don't know
any
what you're talking about.
case, with that lack of success from all those games, they had to downsize. Which means they according to the report that I read, like a couple hundred Sega workers are like being urged to take voluntary retirement.
Yes.
So Sega of America is actually moving locations from one state to a different state. So we'll see what happens with that.
Poor Sonic.
Poor Sonic. Poor Sonic.
Sort of beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
It really is. It's
Yeah.
So like you see all these comic books that show Sonic killing himself and stuff.
Whoa, wait.
It's awful.
It's
Hey,
a
this
joke.
is a
This
PG
is
a
show.
joke.
PG show.
No, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just
Yeah,
saying like
no.
he's like please just finish me.
Oh, it's PG show.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's quite sad.
Anyway, but and ironically enough, the Archie comic Sonic is doing good too. So maybe they just need to not make video games for a while. Just saying. Okay.
Yeah, take a break.
Moving on.
Moving right along.
Do you guys remember when Ubisoft found that several keys for their games were fraudulently purchased on stolen credit cards?
Yeah, didn't we talk about that?
And then allegedly resold to third-party digital retails?
Yeah.
And then they began deactivating the games on the customers' Uplay accounts. Well, Ubisoft is giving back those keys.
Aw,
Oh, snap.
Good guy, Ubisoft.
Okay, so after further investigation into the matter of keys that were fraudulently purchased on EA's Origin store, they are reinstating the keys for consumers who have already successfully activated and started playing those games. Any remaining fraudulently obtained and resold keys have thus been deactivated. So if you have started playing a game and you somehow got one of those keys that were apparently not legally purchased, well, guess what? You can play it now.
Ta-da! There you go. You can have your Far Cry 4 back. You can go have fun dealing with honey badgers and killer birds. Everything wants to kill you in that
Bears
game.
and
I haven't played it,
bears
but I've
and
seen
tigers.
everything.
Oh, my.
Everything is out to get you. Jake got it.
Jiku.
Jake got it.
Hey.
So, Jake, you play Steam a lot, right? On Steam?
I have a few games, yeah.
Do you know the game Bastion?
Yeah, it's sort of like it looks kind of 8-bit, and then the world generates. Around
I know
you.
Bastion. I've played it.
And
it's
it has a really pretty soundtrack.
Yeah.
Well, they
fun.
made
And an awesome
this,
narrator.
Yes, they made this game called Transistor. Same company.
play it. I have it.
It is free currently for PlayStation Plus subscribers for the month of February. I have it. It's really fun. So this is what preludes into, here's the PlayStation Plus list of games for February. It starts with Transistor on the PS4. Next is this game called Apotheon, which is also for the PS4. It is a indie game, and it's a side-scrolling kind of adventure game where you play this Greek soldier called Nicodemus.
Yeah, I saw that on Steam. I didn't know what it was about.
Yeah,
I saw it.
you play Nicodemus, and basically the gods have forsaken
Isn't
everybody.
Nicodemus like a real guy from lore?
I believe so, but I don't know if that's actually,
I think he is.
if that's actually the guy that they're portraying. It's just a guy called Nicodemus, as far as I know. Anyway, so the gods have forsaken them, and Nicodemus is getting ready to get back at the gods, and that's pretty much what the game is. It's really good. And for PS3, if you don't have Yakuza 4 yet, it's free on there. Thief is also free. Rogue Legacy is free on Vita, PS4, and PS3, and Kick and Finnick is free on PS Vita. And that actually looks right up your alley, Caleb. It looks cartoony, puzzly, Ratchet and Clank meets real life.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's cool. I liked Ratchet and Clank. That was a pretty fun game. I played.
Yeah,
that.
so that's the PlayStation Plus games list.
There you
I
have it.
see. Well, that'll do that for that. That'll be it.
Well, what about Sony Online Entertainment? That's your bit of news, Caleb.
Where'd I put it?
It's right above
That's
Rooster
your
Teeth.
responsibility, Caleb.
Right above Rooster
There
Teeth.
it is. Alrighty there. Found it. Okay. So Sony Online Entertainment becomes Daybreak Game Company.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they announced this on Reddit on Monday, and they will be making multi-platform games for all the platforms, like and PC and stuff.
You know that Sony, if you're on the PS3, it was kind of like that IMVU 3D looking thing on the. We mentioned it how it was closing down.
PlayStation Home.
Yes, those were the people that made that.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're also they're selling off several other licenses as well to
different companies and such. But yeah, basically they're going to be like their own little game studio, and they're going to make different games. So it'll be interesting. Maybe what they come up with. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, they're a good production company, graphic wise, and just how it looks, how it plays out. With PlayStation Home, not so well.
That
But
could be accredited to how they were like sort of held back.
they were.
Maybe
I agree. I agree on that point.
told what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Oh yeah, Massively is gone.
Who?
Like we lost Joystick because of
Yeah.
AOL, and now we lost Massively.
And what is Massively Gaming?
Yeah, site.
Every single gaming news site that you like is going away. That's pretty much what we're saying.
Going
here.
the way of X-Play.
But we're
Yes.
not going away anytime soon. I
No,
know
we are
we're not
not.
a site, but we do things here.
We
so
We do.
We can't die.
can't die. Unless I die, but I have to write my will before I die. Apparently I'm going to die
go
soon.
there.
So.
Yeah, Kyle is like, let's not go there.
He's just shaking his head over there. All right. So next up, we have some
Technology
news and
news.
maybe some extra tidbit thrown in at the
Tidbit.
end. Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. All
It's a
that-
surprise.
It's a surprise, indeed. Next song is Speechless? Speeches?
Speeches.
Speeches.
By-
Speeches is Peaches.
Walk off the
Peachy
earth.
King.
Caleb
Yeah.
can never get this name
I
right.
never get any of these songs right. I don't even know why I try. But we'll be right back here on
Why
the
does he
Nerd
try?
Edification Hour on Alternation Radio.
Okay.
We have returned on the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio. I am Rachel. I have next to me Jake.
Hi.
And across from me,
Don't-
Caleb. Don't you dare squeak
don't.
that.
Jake has a squeaky toy
It's
and
the
told him not
squeaky
to.
turtle.
No, don't you do it.
Really don't.
No, really.
it'll
Somebody
make
will
people
yell at
mad.
us.
Yeah.
It's-
What if I put it far away and then I just
No.
Harley
no.
will.
Okay.
No.
No.
I will take it away from you.
squeaky turtle?
It's fun when we're not on the air, but now that we're on the air, it's
All right. So
silent turtle.
here is our tech news and
Tech
tidbits.
news.
Tech and tidbits is what we call this, or at least I do. Anyway, so at some universities, they are trying out this new thing where they make a game out of keeping your phone in your pocket. So basically, this app will track
Oh, I just lost.
whether or not you're using your phone, and for every minute or hour or a certain amount of time, for every certain amount of time that you don't use your phone, you get points, and those points can be actually cashed in for discounts at certain locations, like restaurants, grocery stores, stuff like that.
That'd be cool. I'd be down for that because I hardly ever use my phone anyways.
So everyone will get more points if everyone puts their phone away. And I think Stanford is using it, and a few other universities is using it as well, which is actually a very, very neat way for college students to earn discounts and save a little money just by not having their phone out in class.
I could save a bit of money. Why don't we go up with a petition or whatever to the president and be like,
president.
hey, this is cool.
The president.
Why don't we use it?
Well, these sort of apps and games and stuff like that kind of make their way around the United States and even outside of the United States
Thanks to the
now and
internet.
then. Every now and then. Sometimes they're properly utilized and they are around for a while, but there will be a point that probably this app will be abused. Like, they'll figure out a way to go into the phone and trick it into thinking you're not actually using your phone when you are.
Well, of course, with
So-
anything electronic, somebody's going to find some kind of way around it.
We'll see
'cause
whether that happens.
people are mean.
Some talented computer science folks at some university somewhere will probably figure out how to do this by the time I finish this sentence. So, we'll see. But I, for one, think it's interesting, and I also think that students probably shouldn't have their phone out during class. But that's just me.
I don't know. It's kind of weird. You have to give them a game in order to make them stop doing it.
Well,
but I guess if
you
it
would-
And
works,
some people, even if they were given an incentive for not having their phone out, short of taking it away.
They do that for cars and
Yeah,
stuff.
they do.
What?
Like, don't text and drive. What are you doing?
Yeah, they have an app
Get,
that
like,
prevents you from texting.
Cop points, like
Oh.
police points for not using your phone while driving. They don't make you sign into this every single class, do they? It lasts the whole school day.
It's like an app that tracks how long you keep your phone closed or something like that.
because the
It's
way
not
the article
necessarily-
made it sound, it's like you have to redo it every time a class starts, and it's kind of like, oh.
No, I would think you turn at the start of your first class, you turn on the app, and you just leave it open
Okay.
for that period of class. Is what I'm saying. Like, you'd probably have to do it every class because otherwise it'll track your
lunch break.
lunch break phone time or your between class phone time. It'll track that, or just not really track that, but notice that you're typing on your phone. So, in order to eliminate that. They just like turn it off, turn it on during the class times only.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, you think when somebody pays for a class that they would want to pay attention and want to learn because they paid for it.
I think that's the point a lot, though, is it's sort of like, okay, well, you don't have to pay attention, but it's on your dime, and if you don't pass the class...
It's on your
Yeah.
dime.
Yeah, it's,
There you go.
it's your fault.
I make that same
Your fault,
argument,
man.
Caleb, a lot. I would make that a lot when I was still in school. And it's their choice, I guess. Sometimes you can't force people to do anything.
This seems like it would be more of a middle school kind of thing to me.
Yes, but I understand where they're coming from because, college is expensive, especially if you're living on campus or in an apartment nearby. And
This is like college discounts for
like
local-
discounts for local businesses, pretty much what it would be. And they have to, if we were to do it, and this is like a big if this, for example, just a scenario, if Gulf Coast were to do this, they'd actually have to get in touch with the app people, and then they'd have to go and get in touch with a bunch of local businesses that
See,
would
I would
want
want
to
this
do
to
that.
be like a local business and not like a restaurant chain or something. Because then you got the college giving to the actual like small business community
Which
instead of
and
rather like
that's
Subway or
that's what I would agree with too. But because there are a lot of local businesses here, but discounts when they already don't charge too much because they're local. That could be.
I mean, this would be the college
Right.
sort of
Yeah.
paying them a little bit, and it's like, oh, we're going to have our students that are going to probably want to come to your store because they'll get discounts, and then they'll get more.
I don't think
revenue.
I don't think we necessarily have to pay them anything to participate in it. I think it's like a functional agreement, and you'd work it out with the app creators and stuff like that. There's a lot of contracts and stuff involved, so
Stuff
it's
and
complicated. It's a complicated process. But last little bit of news, and I'm just going to shout it out.
Bonus.
It's a bonus news.
It's a bonus news.
If you like the Star Trek series, Star Trek 3 is going to be filming soon, or it is filming. I'm not exactly sure. Chris Pine hasn't said anything yet. That's our Captain Kirk. So an early as yet unverified report from this site called The Film Divider suggests that the evil shoes, the villain from Star Trek 3, have been filled. Breaking Bad alum Bryan Cranston, he is the one who knocks, has been linked to the Space Set threequel for a role that's apparently very him.
Well,
So
yeah, I could imagine him being a villain. He just has that look about him anyways.
It's far from guaranteed, but his deadpan stylings would make him a brilliant match for the Enterprise crew or the villain. Just the I'd like to see him as the villain because he can be evil. We all know that. We all know that
I
very
can
well.
also be very evil.
Sure, Caleb. Sure.
I know I'm too nice. I can't be evil.
All right,
could try.
but that is our news for today. All of it. That's
All
our
of it.
show.
That's
It's
it.
not just the news. That's
That's pretty
all
much
of our
it.
show.
That's it, and we have 2 songs for a little outro here. We have the Dark Samus theme because I've been playing the Metroid Prime trilogy when I really should be playing doing homework. But I've been playing this instead, which is kind of sad. And then we have the Legend of Zelda Gerudo Valley theme after that in case it goes there. So, till next week.
Take it easy, everyone.
I'm Caleb.
Yes, try to stay dry. It is rather wet and cold out there. And since you're not going outside to do things, you can visit our Facebook page at the Nerd Edification Hour. You can also visit Caleb on his YouTube channel called Strangely Entertaining and Twitter at Nerd Edification.
That's Nerd Edification. And till next week, stay fancy. Bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.